Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know.
Hola, bon dia, alegria. Munson here with a Good Morning Portugal show live stream and podcast. And it is Munson and the Geeza this morning, but not as you know it. And I did just say live stream because I'm in the habit of saying that. It's not actually a live stream. It is the Good Morning Portugal show. It is the podcast. And I'm dabbling with Substack as well. And I'll ask the Portuguese if he's dabbling. I know he's dabbling with a few different things that we'll talk about this morning. Whether Substack is one of them or not, we shall find out. Let's give him a nice big round of applause and bring him onto the screen. Hola, bon dia, tudo bem?
Bom dia, sempre tudo bem a tu?
Muito bem, 5 estrelas. Muito obrigado.
Contigo. Okay.
Boa semana, meu amigo. Right, so you're wandering around your town. Have you actually got a house?
I've actually got
a house.
I do, yeah. I do have a house. I get what you say, yeah. Right, I'm always wondering. I try to get my steps in because I'm quite busy today, so I just want to get my steps in this morning. And then I don't think
multitask, frankly, but it's always good because people get extra value. Not only are you addressing hot matters like dating in Portugal, you're also doing a walk and talk at the same time, which is admirable. So let's get straight into it then. Dating in Portugal. You have published videos about this, and you've come up with an incredible strategy just recently, which we'll go into. But generally speaking, what is it like being in Portugal and dating as a foreigner?
Well, the first thing I would like to say to people is I suspect it varies depending on how handsome you are. No, I'm just joking. I suspect it varies depending on where you are. So I think something
geographically.
Where you are geographically. So I suspect that it's probably much easier if you're in the cities or along the coast. Where I live, for example, I've said before, I'm probably one of the youngest men in my village. So I kind of went onto the dating apps, and I don't know, it's been interesting because I've only done it once. I've only been on a dating app once. But I had heard that it's really brutal for men, that they don't get any chats with women. Now, first of all, obviously a lot of the chats you get are obviously fake. But there's strategies that like I had one last night who was telling me she's in Germany. So I asked her some questions about Germany, and she couldn't. You know what I mean? You can find out pretty quickly.
What, so it was like a Chinese or Russian kid in a basement working alongside lots of other scammers.
Yeah. But in saying that, I have been speaking with a lot of genuine women, not all Portuguese, but definitely more interested in meeting Portuguese women because I want to be a Portugeeza. I'm a proper Portugeeza. Yeah. So
you've told them about what you do, presumably, in the interest of honesty, authenticity, and cards on the table. What do they think of you?
I am 100% honest.
Yeah.
I'm too old, Carl, for bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. And I've already met a couple of women who aren't too old for bullshit. Right. They started off from a place of bullshit and they're already cold.
Yeah.
I haven't got the patience for it, mate. So
fair enough. Okay, and they don't mind that. I mean, we have a little joke between ourselves, don't we? Everything's content, and presumably they have a sense that you might talk about it publicly. How are they about that?
Well, I made one video about a Portuguese woman that I had a date with, and she was actually kind of my first sort of date in many years. That was a week ago or something, a little over a week ago. I can't remember now, but she was like, how did she bring it up? She kind of said, "Oh, do you have a vlog like this?" I'm like, Come on, of course, you know what I mean. You know my name. You know, simple Gooch. Of course, she knows I have one.
Because everyone's looking,
So,
everyone does a little bit of stalking on online, of course, don't they, when they're about to meet somebody? Well,
yeah, I mean, of course, she knows that I have a YouTube channel, right? Of course, she knows it. So, anyway, and then she asked me if I would. Well, she invited me. She said because we went to Evora. You know Evora.
Oh, yeah, she went out on a proper date then. Great, yeah.
Yeah. And she said, "Oh, I don't mind if you vlog." And of course, I said, "Well, I'm not gonna. Obviously, I'm not gonna vlog when
Live
we're on
on
a
the
date."
Live on the date. She
Yeah.
said that. Oh, wow. Okay.
I mean, of course, it would have been great, but I'm like, no, I'm not doing that because this is my privacy or whatever. Anyway, later on, she actually said that she wanted me to make a video about it because she wanted to see the comments, right? So,
Right.
so what was funny is I went and made a video about it,
Yes.
and of course, many people have basically married us off. You know what I mean? Which is quite funny.
Well, you're making a
Yeah.
lovely couple. That's I'm a bit sorry I haven't done research and had a little look myself. But so is that ongoing?
Kind of moved on already. I know that's kind of going to upset a few people.
Yes,
but you know,
well, and please others. It'll please others as well, of course.
If I'm being honest, if anyone watched the video, you got to understand. The video was really made for her, and I don't know. Don't get excited, guys.
You didn't say it's not going to work out in the video. You didn't use like the video as a Dear John, did you?
No, I didn't. But I possibly should have.
Okay. Well, this is really exciting.
You probably just watch this video, but anyway, it is what it is. But what I learned from that is that somehow I do have to look a bit closer to home, even though it's more difficult in rural Portugal. So I've come up with a new strategy.
Well, I
which
see
is,
that. Before you move on, though, Evora, a chapel of bones. What were you thinking? Was it a nice day out in Evora?
It was a nice day out in Evora, but what was quite funny is, what am I? I'm 52 years old, but of course, because it had been sort of my first date in about 20 years or something, I was really nervous. Yeah. And you know those old English tropes, like everyone knows the kind of the rom-com with the bumbling English gentleman.
In Love Actually, it's an Englishman, isn't it? Colin Fry or whatever he's called.
Colin Firth and I remember her name. Well, in the movie, she was called Aurelia, wasn't she? Yeah, I remember that. That's funny. Yeah.
So it's a bit like that. Yeah. I mean, and Richard Curtis might be interested in the rights to this movie. The Portugeeza Finds Love.
Yeah. So I think I told you a few highlights. I just kept saying stupid things all day. But that's what we do. So
okay.
Yeah, but the training wheels are off now, my friend. Training wheels are off.
Are off. Okay. Now you've got a new strategy. May I read it out? Because I'm guessing you can't remember it off by heart. Your message.
Roughly, but go on.
Bom dia, vizinhos. So this is a new dating strategy for the Portugeeza to get things more.
Hello, neighbours. Hello, neighbours.
Free-range, organic, and local. This is his love life in Portugal. Sou inglês. Vivo em Portugal há 4 anos e meio. So
I'm an English guy. I've lived in Portugal for 4.5 years.
Yeah. Okay. Apesar de ter estudado, até tenho certificado A2.
I think I said even though I've got a certificate in Portuguese up to A2 level. Yeah.
O meu português continua, digamos, em obras.
So my Portuguese is rubbish. That's not an exact translation, but roughly speaking.
Right. Okay. The coach is watching behind the scenes and he's saying, that was Tony's message. I thought Carl's Portuguese had improved. Cheeky bugger. Right, okay. Preciso de ajuda. A minha proposta é o pagar o café, o almoço, ou o jantar. Tu conversas comigo em português e corrigas os meus disparates linguísticos.
Yeah. I need help So I propose a language exchange. You teach me Portuguese, I will buy you a coffee, lunch, or dinner.
Very good. Como sou homem bem parecido e estou de 50 anos, parece-me lógico que sejas uma mulher atraente, solteira, entre 35 e 45 anos.
In view of the fact that I am a handsome and healthy man, you will be an attractive single woman aged between 35 and 45.
Se ter sorte divertido, envie-me mensagem privada e combinamos. Obrigado e boa noite. Boa noite, nós titando. Tony.
Yeah.
Senor
Yeah.
Tony.
Those who are interested, hit me up in the DMs and we'll figure it out.
Who doesn't like to be hit up in the DMs first thing in the morning? Now, this is fairly recent. So this has gone into what, local forums, groups, Facebook?
Local Facebook groups. Now I would like to before, because I know people are cringing.
I'm loving it. No, hold on. I'm not cringing. I'm loving this. I think you're very brave, and I think it's really wonderful. The coach is turning his camera. He wants to see what's going to happen here. Right, so
they kind of know me. They kind of know me. You know what I mean? So, but you know, I was expecting, if I'm being honest, I was expecting loads of like, not that I care, you know me. I was expecting loads of sort of laugh emojis and crap like that. But actually, got a lot of support and a lot of support. Yeah. And even a few offers. So I expected I would get a few offers from it. It seems reasonable. And I suspect that it's as difficult for single women of a certain age to find to find men also. I suspect it's quite difficult for them as well. So you know, I'm here to help.
What? The hungry must be fed kind of thing. That's my stepfather.
The hungry must be fed.
Okay. All right. Well, I applaud you, and fortune favors the brave. I mean,
fortune does favor the brave.
As you alluded to earlier on, you know, it's a different world, isn't it? It's not like you're at the local hop on a Friday night anymore, is it? Asking girls to dance. This is different now. But you've gone a bit old school, I think, by going local and putting your cards on the table. I really like it, and I wish you well.
Yeah. Thank you. As I say, I think, because funnily enough, I've spoken to a few Portuguese women about this, and they know that I live in a small village, and I've made the point, which is, you know, guys, if you ever come to my village, the next day there'll be a village meeting in the cafe to discuss what happened. You know what I mean? So they laugh at that. So in that sense, I think it may actually be quite difficult for any single person, single men, single women living out here, whether they be Portuguese or foreigners. You know what I mean? Because
get it.
You live in a fishbowl, don't you?
Yes.
So I've sort of flipped that. Yeah. I've sort of flipped that and said, right, I know I live in a fishbowl.
Yes,
so,
yes,
you know,
that's right. When I went on my first date with my now wife, I met her, and that same day I met her whole family, because I had a dastardly motive, and my well, you know,
you want to shag?
Yes, I mean, let's be honest. That is part of the whole relationship, 360 degrees. Yeah. So, and I wanted to come and stay with me for the weekend. So what I said was, look, I'll meet your family, and then they can be, well, they can't be certain, but they can get a sense that I'm not some kind of psychopath. And and I met her mum and dad and her sister and her nieces and my now brother-in-law, and it was like, you know, thumbs up. This guy seems all right. And I think you're doing something like that, aren't you? You're making yourself very visible in the community. And what I suspect might happen, people will be talking about you behind your back, and even in front of your face at the cafe, and grandmas and aunties will all be thinking, Maria hasn't got a husband or whatever. Tony's a lovely man. And they'll be fixing you up. It'll be like a social network. Will be working on your behalf.
It could be, yeah. It could be, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. It makes sense. Well, hopefully.
Safety and security about that, isn't there? Because you have made yourself visible, you know, in all seriousness, which I think says a lot about your, you know, your character.
Yeah. I got absolutely no filter, maybe. I don't know what it says. But I did one of the comments I did get on the comment. I really didn't know what to expect, to be honest. I was pretty confident. That there would be some women in the DMs. I really did. I really was confident about that.
Yes.
But I wasn't so confident about how the public would handle it. But I did get some comments, like one woman said that she thought I was very brave.
Yes,
but you know, of course, she can't read tone, right? She might mean, "Oh, you're very brave. All the Portuguese men are going to kick your head in on Friday for trying to steal one of their women."
Well, fingers crossed that doesn't happen, and I hope she means brave as in as an attractive quality in a man.
Yeah, maybe. I think that's what she meant. I'm taking it that way anyway.
Whilst we're here, and hopefully this video will go viral, you may get offers from all around the world. Do you want to say? I mean, you've given some of the vital statistics, as it were, between 35 and 45. Is and that, you know, women will say they want someone with a good sense of humor, nice personality, you know, good looking. What do you want to add to your criteria? Should somebody be watching this and thinking, "No, I really like this guy"? I would. I'm married. I'm married.
Well, you know, I mean, it's difficult to talk about yourself, isn't it? But I'll give it a go.
Problem.
I'll give it a go. I'll give it a go. Well, look, obviously, you know, obviously, I'm not an unattractive guy. You know what I mean? Like, I could be a bit of eye candy for someone.
That's why we have you on the show. That's why we have you on the show.
I'm a healthy guy. I take care of myself. I don't drink. I don't smoke. You know, what do I do? You know, I do a few edgy things. I ride a motorcycle.
Yeah, nice.
I ride a motorcycle, and you know, very happy to have an attractive woman join me for exciting motorcycle rides, touring around Portugal, this type of thing.
Yes.
But I would like to say, you know, I'm open to any nationality or anything like that, but I am in particular hoping to meet a Portuguese woman, and because I want to become a Portuguese guy. I know that I'm never going to be a Portuguese guy. I'm always going to be an Englishman in Portugal. Yeah. But yeah, so one thing you do have to accept, though, I'm not a Latin lover, okay? I'm an English gentleman, so I'm going to say these stupid English clumsy things. That's what we do. But if you like that type of thing, the door is open. The door is open.
A bit more on that before we go. You're not a swivel-hipped Lothario. You are steady British. What should a woman expect from a British gentleman?
I think loyalty. I think security. You know, I mean, I don't want to come across as the kind of stereotypical nice guy. I'm probably not that. You know, flawed in my own way, but definitely you could expect someone who's going to take care of you. I mean, British men are generally masculine guys. We're a bit old school. We like feminine women, and we like to make space. We like to make space for feminine women, which is something, I know it kind of sounds horrible, but it's something I find very attractive about Portuguese women, because
yes, indeed.
With respect to any British women, watch
out. This is going to end badly, I think, isn't it? If you start a sentence with respect to, and we're just about to end, and I'm really on the pause button here. Go ahead.
It's just to say that I'm not looking for a masculine woman.
Oh,
that's all I'm saying.
Hanging there in more ways than one. Okay, and Tony, has anything interesting happened to you just recently, apart from the dating thing?
Oh my God, I'm lost for words, Carl. I'm lost for words. I really can't think of anything.
This isn't the
I lost for words. No, do you know what? Do you know what it was? It's because I wanted to. I actually had a more serious topic to bring up, and obviously we don't have time. But I wanted to speak about the. Does everyone know that in Portugal you're not allowed to? This isn't a joke, by the way. Does everyone know that in Portugal you're not allowed to make cash transactions of over €3,000?
I did not know that.
Oh, you didn't know that? It's a law here.
Right.
But I was just noticing that Spain has just jumped on that as well. So now in Spain, you have to ask permission from today, I think, to withdraw more than €3,000 from your bank account. So this just seems to be something that's happening, and I'm just really interested what people's view is on that, because it's like anything, it's being done in our interest, you know, to stop money launderers and all that sort of thing. But
okay, well, we've lost signal, and I think that maybe that was a little bit of a signal to the
in my interest, it just paid.
How on earth are you going to have an amazing first date if you can only get $3,000 out the bank in cash? I don't know, but we will return.
Well. In that case, government, please reduce it to about €200. Okay, I didn't think of that. Reduce it to about €200, and we're going to be okay.
Excellent, mate. Okay, all the best. Watch out for the Portuguese on YouTube, and we'll see you again next month. Cheers, buddy.
Well, boa semana, everybody. Boa semana.
Okay, good luck. Boa sorte.
Ciao, ciao.
In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts.